Hey Team DSF, this is your girl Tanaya-Marcia Silhouette, and I'm going to give it a couple seconds for you all to connect, and I'm going to pull up these notes for the training today. It's raining outside, and I like the way it sounds. It's kind of soothing. Hey Will, I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. Boss lady, yes. Hey Jermaine, I'm going to give it like 5 to 10 more seconds and then I'm going to get started. Alright, couple more seconds. Alright, so I'm going to get started. Alright, so this is your Team DSF weekly business training. This is your girl Tanaya-Marcia Silhouette. And this week I am going to go over the notes that I took for this month's Business Academy. In my company, we do different types of training, corporate training. We have an academy that we do every month. And this one, I've been to like a lot of them, and every different one is different. Even if you get like the same person doing the training each time, it's different. So it's very important that you stay consistent and you attend every single training, because once they say it one way, they're not going to ever say it that way again. So you always can gain some knowledge and stuff from people, and take a lot of notes when you do. I always take a lot of notes and I share it with my team and with other people so that they can get some things out of there. And it's also good if you have your team take notes also, because one thing that you might interpret or the way you write your notes down might be different from other people's notes. So I like to share my notes so they can see what I got out of it, and then vice versa. I like to see what other people got out of it, just in case they caught something I didn't. So this weekend, this month, basically this weekend, we had two of my mentors. They are both multimillionaires in the company, top leaders in the company that I have. And Dr. Skip and Jill Campbell, they shared a lot of great information that I really needed to hear. Some of it I knew, but the way they said it was different than the way that I was like processing it. And it was also good timing, because sometimes we need to hear things over and over again to kind of tighten up our shot group. You know, that's what military people say. It means kind of get yourself back in order and the way you're supposed to be. You know, get yourself focused. You might be on the right path, but you need to like tighten it up a little bit. So what did they say that was so amazing? So I'm gonna go over some of these notes that I took. The first thing, Dr. Jill Campbell, she opened it. She said, have a why. You know, in network marketing, we always talk about a why. And even in regular traditional business, everyone has a why. There is a reason why you're doing what you're doing. There's a reason why people that aren't business owners are not business owners, and why they are living their life the way they live. Everyone has a why. Everyone has a story. You need to know what your why is, because that is what is going to help you to get through the hard times and to appreciate the good times, appreciate the hard times because there's a lesson in them, but get you through that journey as you go through your network marketing experience and build your business, because it's not going to be simple, or, well, it's not going to be easy. I'll say it's simple, but it's not easy. We complicate our lives. We make things harder than they should be. Even if we're following the system to the T, we're going to run into struggle. Life happens. We all know about it. And your why is what pushes you through that struggle. So you need to know what your why is, and you also need to know what your team's why is, so that you can help them get to whatever goals that they want to hit. And so that was very important. She also said to do a minimum of 15 presentations per month. Now, if you've been on any of my trainings, you know that I always talk about the core habits, and these can translate into any company. Our company standard is a minimum of 15 presentations per month. The CTE Connect Tool event system that we follow, an event is when you get a prospect to third party where they can hear the company story and the opportunity that you're presenting to them from a third party, not you. That is a presentation. That is an event. You should be doing at least 15 of those at the minimum every month. That is the bare minimum. That is not the max. The max is whatever you can do. But the minimum is that. In order for you to be successful and follow the blueprint and see results, that's what we recommend. Obviously, that means you need to talk to more than 15 people a month, because not all of them are going to get to third party. Some of them are going to tell you no before you even get to that step. So that is the standard, and she reiterated that. Nothing else more to say about it, because I talk about it almost every week on my training. It comes up. So get out of your comfort zone in order to actually grow your business. You don't have to like anyone else, present like anyone else. Don't try to use anyone else's words. Just be who you are. And so with that, it's kind of like this, you know, and we're all guilty of it. Most people don't, they want this, but they want it to be easy. They want to they want the money to just fall in their lap, the time freedom. They don't want to put the work in, because they don't know what they're getting into. You know, mostly it's fear of messing up, fear of even picking up the phone and making that first exposure. You know, get out of your comfort zone. If you can be uncomfortable for the next 5 years in order to be comfortable for the rest of your life, you got to really look at the forest for the trees. Okay? That is what you got to do. Because most of the time we're like, okay, I'm just going to slip through the cracks and do the below the bare minimum, not even the bare minimum, and just do what makes me feel good. It's not what makes you feel good. It's about what makes money and what's duplicatable so your team can make money. It's not about making you feel good. If anything, you're trying to make other people feel good by getting them out of their jacked up situation. So you got to work, you know, and if you want to be a leader, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice for yourself and your family, and you also got to sacrifice for your team so you can help them get to that freedom that we all keep talking about. Nobody that has been successful and built their own businesses, I'm not talking about people that just came into money or inherited. I'm talking about people that built their business from the ground up. They were not comfortable. They struggled their way to the top. They had to figure things out. But the good thing is, if you follow a system in your company, if your company has a good system, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So you're going to go through the struggle, but you're not going to go through as much of a struggle as those groundbreakers that have to reinvent, that have to do everything themselves. You should find a company that already has a system in place and look to those millionaires and those successful people in that company that have already paved the way and do what they did. And it's still going to be uncomfortable, but at least it's not as uncomfortable as it can ever be. So it's kind of like this, like, get out of your comfort zone and don't make your life harder by trying to do things on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, use the system, but you got to freaking prioritize and make sure that you actually are treating this business like a real business and not just like a hobby just because it's hard or because it takes too long or because you don't see results today, even though you just joined like 5 minutes ago. So it's like, it's not a get rich quick scheme. So you just got to get through it, you know, and remember your why to get yourself through that process. That's basically what they're saying. Now, as far as like, you know, you don't have to be like anybody else and all of that. When you're doing your invite, you know, and you look at the blueprints and the training stuff that we give you as examples, don't think that you got to, like, we want you to duplicate our process, but we're not telling you to be a clone of us. Make it your own. Within the system that your business has for you to follow, personalize it to you so that it's genuine. You got to learn, and it takes time. It took me about a year. Learn how to truly incorporate your business into your lifestyle so you take ownership of that business fully, and it does fall in line with your personality and everything that you have going on. What I mean by that is it goes all the way down to the invite. They give you scripts and they tell you this is what an invite looks like, but they're not expecting you to read the script verbatim and be like, yeah, you know, I would like for you to join my company because blah, 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 like that. Like you're reading from script. Like those people that sell those cruise lines. I used to work for a company that sells cruises, and I had to read a script And I was sitting there like, blah, blah, blah. And they would tell you like, oh, well, you know, work on your voice inflection and, you know, put a little pizzazz and all that stuff in it. But you're still reading the script verbatim because we don't want to get, you know, in trouble from legal. And it's like, everybody on the phone would be like, yo, I know you got to read me this script. I'm not interested. I don't even want you to talk to me right now because I've been solicited before. I don't care. I know what you're going to say because I've called in before and they redirected me to this company. I don't care. And I was horrible at selling those cruises. Like, and it was supposed to be free, but, you know, of course, once it's free, then we give you a little upgrade to a bigger cabin. That's how we make a little bonus. So don't do that in your business because people can read between that you sound like a telemarketer or whatever, you know, like make it genuine. It should be, like I always say in my CTE training, connecting is not the invite, but when you get to the invite, it should sound like the connecting. What that means is if you're having a genuine conversation with people and you're already talking to them about things that are important to both of you, but you're making sure the focus always stays on them and what they need to improve themselves in their situation, because it shouldn't be about you, then when you actually get to the invite inside of the connection, it should fall right into place. It shouldn't sound like, hey, you know, we're cool, and then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, I got this thing, and it's like, oh, shit, here we go. This is why you really called me. You know what I mean? No, that's not how it is. No, it should be like, look, you just told me that you have this problem and I have a possible solution. It might not be for you, but I want to tell you because you just told me you have a problem. I care about you. Like, you got to genuinely feel that. You got to really believe it. So what am I saying? What's the implied thing I'm saying? You got to genuinely want to help people in order to get that, to make that come across as genuine. You know what I'm saying? You can't be fake. It should come from a real place inside. If not, they're going to read between the lines and they're going to be like, no. Even if they slightly are interested, they're going to be cautious and like, you know, dance around the subject because they're like, well, it sounds good, but what is in it for you? We know it's a business. We know somebody's making money. Whatever. I'm not going to lie to you about that. Yeah. I want to make money, but I want to make money with you because guess what? You need money too. You need freedom too. We both do. Let's do this together. Like for real, win-win situation. Not just I'm trying to take your money. Like I genuinely do want you to get money. Let's get it together. You know, let them know up front. If you try to dance around it, then they're going to think you really trying to scam them on something that is legit, you know, as long as you're in a legit company, which I'm sure all y'all are. So that's what they're saying. Don't try to be like somebody else and try to mirror what your mentor is doing as far as their personality and stuff. Just mirror the process and the duplication. That's the duplication. I'm not trying to be like Skip and Joe Campbell or Brandon Cunningham. And Brandon Cunningham is my favorite mentor, but I'm not trying to be like him. I'm trying to be a better me, you know? So we all have the ability to be a lead. You know, and what they mean by that is we all can reach the top of our companies. If the opportunity is the right opportunity and you're in the right company, you know, based on the 6 key components, you should have the opportunity to be able to reach the top. If not, you need to find a new company. In my company, the opportunity is still there. With that being said, they just said that to me again, like, hey, you remember, you still have a chance to be where we are. So work to get there. Here's the way you get there. We're rolling out the path for you. That's what it is. If you don't have that opportunity, like I said, find a new company. Now, have your goals. They said have your team write down their goals. Have you write down your goals. Know what your team's goals are and know how to help them get there. Put dates next to your goals and tell your upline so they can help you. Don't be afraid of your goals, and dreams do come true, right? So I talked about this in my 6-month business planner thing that I told y'all about. I had my team, the ones that were serious and that wanted to do it, they got a 6-month business planner and they wrote down their goals, and they wrote down their goals for the next 6 months. They wrote down 3-month goals. They wrote down every month, every day, every week, you know, and then I even told them, even though this is a 6-month planner, I want to know what your goal is for the next year, the next 5 years, the next 18 months, all of that. That way, when you're starting to prep for the next 6 months, right, you already know, well, a year out is the next 6 months. So where do you want to be then? You know, and then you're going to track that daily, right? And you need to know, like, you need to know that for yourself and your business. You should have a business plan, and you should have your team do that, because how are you going to help your team if you don't even know where they're trying to go? That makes no sense. So that's what you need to do. And have them write it down and put dates on it so they hold themselves accountable. You see those dates, you can hold them accountable. They can hold you accountable too, because part of you reaching your goals as a leader in the company should be by helping your team reach theirs. That should boost you up to reach your goals. Your goals should have them inside of it, if that makes sense. Because you should not, and if you're in a good company, the ones at the top aren't going to get there unless they bring the ones at the bottom with them. So that's how it works. So stop focusing on yourself and focus on your team, and then all of a sudden you'll see your goals come about. As long as they coincide. That's why you got to write it down and see. So that was very important. Now, if you don't have dreams, you need to dream bigger. Sometimes you got to go back and remember your why. Like I said, really think about it and get granular and figure out what your dreams really are, because sometimes we get scared or we haven't thought about it in a while because we're so used to the 9-to-5 life and we don't even know what we want to do. That's fine. Just think about what you love to do every day, what you enjoy. Think about the people that are important to you and think about, you know, what would make them happy. And then you'll start to see your why form. And then as time goes by, you can always add to your why every day. Create a vision board and like put it out there. You know, just brainstorm. It's okay if you don't know your why. You might not have a personal why. Your personal why might be helping other people. That is your why, whatever it is. Or your why might be I just want to lay around and do nothing and pay my bills, you know. Cool, that's your why. And then, like I said, the more you help people, I guarantee your why will change. It'll grow, and that's cool, you know? And now, if you want to be successful and you follow the system, you do your CTE and everything, they talked about getting butts in seats. That's real, because you're not going to make money unless there's movement in your organization. So you got to get butts in seats. What does that mean? That means you got to make sure you are tracking the events that are going on in the local area and all the bigger events that your company is doing and the ones that, most importantly, you're hosting, okay? And then get people to those events because they need to be in front of a third party so they can get the presentation, so that they can make a decision, so that they can decide, do they want to buy product? Do they want to buy or invest in the business? And then that's how you make money. If you don't get butts in seats, you're not making money because you're not getting people to third party. Butts in seats is any event. That could be a webinar. It could be a phone call. It could be an actual physical place. But if you're not getting prospects to third party, you're not going to make money because they're not going to be able to make a decision until they get the information. Unless you have like this amazing online system where people are just clicking on your website and buying stuff without even knowing what it is, have at it. But if that's not you, you need to get people to events. So they kept stressing that, and I thought that was worth writing down because that's that consistency we talk about and that duplication. Now, when you do your invite, they say invite people and don't prejudge anyone. Even if someone looks like they have everything together, you never know what they're going through and what they're praying for, and this opportunity might be what they need. So that's happened to me a lot. A lot of the people, if not all of the people on my team, are people I didn't think, well, not all of them, but most of them are people I didn't think would want this, but I told them anyway. And the ones that I thought, like, they were at the top of my list when I first started, like, hey, let's go, they said no. So you don't know what people are going through. I'm a prime example of that. I don't tell all of my business to people. I tell it to strangers, usually when I'm at a meeting presenting, but not everyone knows my business. So on the surface, it might not even look like I want anything else out of my life, but I do. So what makes you think other people aren't the same way? Because they are a private person, they just don't want you to know. So what I'm saying is when you have genuine conversations with people and you're just talking, listen for those triggers, and when it's appropriate, if it sounds like something they need, then bring it up when it's appropriate. But don't prejudge people and assume they don't want it because you don't know what they're going through behind closed doors, okay? So now her closing remarks were to be coachable, stay plugged in, follow your leaders, attend all events, and don't quit. The only way to fail is quit. I think that's self-explanatory. I'm not going to really elaborate on that. Now, when her husband got up, it got really crazy. I'm not going to be able to go through all these notes on what he said, but he went through a lot of great stuff. Now, this really hit me right here. He said, just because you said yes doesn't mean you're going to ride that decision to the top. You have to redo that decision every day. That was like, I was like, oh my God, because there are a lot of people that are going to join your team, and they're not going to do anything once they join. They're going to join your team, and then they're just going to sit there and wait for something to happen. You might have those thoughts yourself. You might do this, and then something happens right after you join, and you don't do anything with your business. Or you start having doubts because of life happening, or whatever. People keep telling you no. And it's like, I've gotten frustrated. I got frustrated right after I joined this business, and I didn't do anything, and it set me back a year. But once I got out of my head and I remembered my why, and I, changed up some processes in my life and really started treating this business seriously like a business and incorporating it into my lifestyle daily, that's when I was like, you know what? I got to work this thing because I know I'm going to need it. And I'm telling you, there's some things going on with me right now where it's like, I'm so glad I got out of my head because I need this business and I need this thing to work. And my why is staring me in the face every day. And you got to remember that sometimes your people on your team, they're not going to do anything. And the worst thing you could do, and I've done it, is get mad at them. We say love on them if they don't want to do nothing. It's so true, because we're nobody's boss. We're all leaders in this company. We're all CEOs. We're nobody's boss. So if they don't follow the system, or if they don't do anything, they don't follow anybody's system, even their own, it's cool. You know what? Guess what? They were your homie before they joined the business. Let them be your homie now. Love on them. Be positive. Be an inspiration. Be a leader by showing them, like, hey, have you tried this? And you know what? If you don't respond to that, if they don't want to hear advice, we good. Let me know if you need anything. I'm reading a book right now, Your First Year in Network Marketing, and it said, like, hey, the leaders that want you to help them are going to pick up the phone and call you. They should be calling up. You should be calling your upline when you need them. The ones that you want in your business are going to take this thing and they're going to run with it when it's their time to do so. And they're not going to always call you every day, but if they need something, they'll call you. The ones that don't take it seriously, you're never going to hear from them because they're not doing anything. And if you do hear from them, they're probably expecting you to do the work for them. Don't do the work for them. Guide them and show them how to be a leader and let them run their business the way they want to run it. Set the standard by your own actions and keep on going, right? Keep bringing in new people, keep recruiting new people, and work with the people that really want this, and the ones that don't want this because of whatever reason, let them know it's okay. It's okay if you changed your mind, okay? I'm not going to drag you along with me. I don't have the time or the patience to drag people along and babysit them. But if you reach out to me and tell me you need help, I help you. Right? I'll help you, but I'm not doing your business for you. But I will help you. I will talk to you. I will coach you. I will train you, and I will stay in contact with you, and I'll be there for you. But at the end of the day, if you want this, you're going to show me by doing as much as you possibly can to get your business off the ground, and I'm going to be right there with you. That's what they're saying. But people got to make that decision every single day they wake up. Do I still want to do this business? Because guess what? They don't have a boss in this business, and nobody's going to call you on the phone and say, why didn't you show up to work today? Because it's your business. So guess what? You got to wake up and say, do I want to go to work today in my business? Yes or no? And whatever you decide is what you decide, because guess what? You're your own boss. That's that freedom, okay? But unless you got that time freedom and that financial freedom, I would hope your answer to yourself would be, yes, I'm going to do my business today because I'm trying to reach those goals that I have. So that's what you got to remind your team. We are nobody's boss, and I'm not trying to be your manager, okay? I'm military. Sometimes I get into management mode, and I got to punch myself in the face or get punched in the face by my leaders when they tell me you're talking too much about your team. What are you doing? Why aren't they managing themselves? So it's like, hey, I got to go through it too. So teach your leaders that. Let your leaders lead. Don't micromanage people. Don't drag people along. You're wasting time. 80% of your time should be focused on new prospects, bringing them into the business. The other 20%, training your leaders that are leading and helping the ones that are struggling. That's it. That's it. That's how it should be. So that really resonated with me. Now, it could be so easy to get wrapped into the crap going on in our lives that we can't see the forest for the trees. I already touched on that. You got to stay focused. Remember your why. Look at your business plan. All jobs suck and all bosses suck. Once again, so don't be a boss, right? You got out of your 9-to-5 or you're trying to get away from it because you don't like that atmosphere. Don't make your business and your team another atmosphere that's similar. I have to remember that. They didn't sign up for this to be an employee. So don't treat them like an employee, okay? So now, think about this when you're talking to your prospects. I do want to touch on this. I know we're running out of time here. Current situation in the world. The first 20 years of your life are normally spent learning. The next 40 years of your life are usually spent working, right? And then, if you're lucky to not get laid off and you can save money, maybe the next 15 to 20 years of your life you can spend enjoying it. That's horrible. That's most people's situation, though. What we want to let people know, what we're offering is this. We're offering those first 20 years of learning. That's when you're your child to an adult. 5 to 10 years of hustling. Building this network marketing business that's going to give you freedom. And then the rest of your life is yours. That's what we're offering, is that mentorship, okay? Not from us, unless we're already at the top, but the people we know. We know people that have gotten there, and we're trying to get there, and we're trying to bring you with us. Are you tired? Are you at high noon? Are you tired of the BS that you're dealing with every day? Do you want something different? Come meet this mentor that I have. He has a better way. All you got to do is just meet him. All you got to do is just watch him on the webinar or talk to him on the phone. You don't even have to say anything if you don't want, but just listen to this opportunity that we have that can get you out of that situation. If you're at high noon, if you're ready. If you're not ready, that's cool. I told you what I have. I wanted to give you more information so you can get the full picture, but if it's not for you, we good, you know? Don't marry, what did they say? Marry the process, divorce the decision, right? Divorce the outcome. Don't worry about what people's answers are going to be. Just make sure you're following the system and let them make an informed decision, right? So you got to meet people where they're at. And if they're not at high noon, you could just put them in a rotation to follow up with them. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things in these notes that I can go over. Thanks. I got one of my mentors on here. Hey, Graham. I appreciate that love. He's one of my mentors. He's amazing. There's a whole bunch of other things in these notes that I can go through, but it's going to take a long time. If you click on the event, I have the notes right there. It's a link. Share it with people. Read it yourself, but it's amazing. But what I will do is close out with this. You need to have a business plan. You need to have a business plan of daily actions. Like I said, you need to take your business seriously. You need to always be inviting people to the next meeting, and you need to make sure that you're genuine with people. What Dr. Skip Campbell said is people can smell BS. He can smell when you're at 99%. You can smell when people are not being genuine. Okay, nobody wants a faker. Nobody wants a scam. Okay, they want real friends and real people. And if you come at them with some BS or you try to be fake when you're doing this business, you're not going to get anywhere. And nobody's going to be able to duplicate that fakeness because it's not real. You got to make this business your own and incorporate it into your life while you follow the system that is in place. So don't get it twisted when we say follow the system that we want you to be a clone of us, because we're not. Everybody's different, and we need everybody that is different in this business, because I might be able to reach out to somebody that you can't because they connect with me better, or vice versa. And, even if you're new to this and I'm more experienced than you, you might be able to reach people that don't want to talk to me because they don't like the way I present or whatever. You got to be yourself and just be a better you while following the system to be successful. This is a relationship business. It's a people business, which means it's a genuine business. And the industry is already, jacked up with all of these scams and the bad reputations and stuff like that. So don't be another person that adds to that bad reputation. Show them what a genuine network marketer looks like, and a genuine person who has the mindset and the vision to do something outside the box in order to help as many people as we can get that financial and time independence. So I'm going to end on that note. This is your girl, Tanaya-Marcia Silhouette. This is your Team DSF weekly business training. Once again, click on the notes and read them. There's a lot more in there I didn't touch on. And I hope y'all have a good evening. Peace.